You wanted the best. You've got the best. The hottest podcast in the world. Cranked and Ranked.
I feel I'm tired on a Saturday night. It feels like the type of music you hear in the background of a TV show about garages that restore classic cars. It's like rocking enough to keep the show going, but generic enough to not draw attention away.
Hopefully Bret Michaels doesn't listen to this. Otherwise, there's going to be a lawsuit that we've caused.
Yeah. Like 12 years after the fact.
Hey, you know what? It's never too late. Danger you, danger me, danger us. Those are actually the lyrics, people. I didn't make that up.
And that's the thing. Something that is dumb like that could have sounded way cooler if the guitars had at least some oomph to them. But they sound so dialed back. And like, how do you make a distorted guitar sound like it's not into it? You know? It's like, I don't feel like this today.
Indifferent. He has an indifference pedal that he clicks on. It's the Boss indifference pedal for you old rockers.
Jesus Christ. Do you want to sound like the background to a Mythbusters episode?
Vaccinated with a Victrola needle and I'm hooked on rock and roll.
I have a fun game for listeners at home. Every time you hear something lifted straight from Alice in Chains on this album, take a drink, because you will get blasted in fucking no time.
And he's not lying. Not even just music aside. If you came to me and said, "Hey, I'm going to read you some song titles: Hate, Rain, Master and Slave. What decade did this album come out?" I'd be like, "Oh, that's '90s for sure."
100%. This honestly could have been a seriously respected album in mid-90s grunge if it wasn't the fact that Kiss made it. Yeah, a band that wore makeup and neon colors, wore more of it than the women at their shows.
Had previously done songs with lyrics like, "Put your hand in my pocket and grab onto my rocket."
Yeah, just a boy. Like,
I am just a boy.
Paul doing those boys choir voices. It's too funny. A World Without Heroes has a cool vibe to it. Really like
every time you say these, I want to sing them. A world without heroes.
Mr. Blackwell.
You're not well. Mr. Blackwell. All right. Sorry. It's going to happen a lot. Quote unquote got back together with Peace and Ader. I was about to call him. Hold on. I need.
He needs.
It's not alcohol. In there, it's just water.
He needs his speech juice.
It doesn't. There's nothing overtly creepy about it at all. It just has this vibe of I don't know, a serial murderer, singing this from his van. You know, like, come in when you wish. And I'm just, oh God, no.
He's wearing like a skin suit of all his victims. When you wish upon a star. I was going to save this for my notes on the album, but I think I should say it here.
Okay.
I know you write me sexy letters.
Oh God. Okay, don't ever do that again.
Like, somewhere he's listening to this, laughing his ass off, knowing it worked. You know, Eddie from Cranked and Ranked was very unnerved about the whole thing.
he has like a chart of all the people in the world, and once they become uncomfortable by him, he puts a check mark next to them. He's just like, another one down.
I don't think I've ever seen an interview with Gene Simmons that didn't give me secondhand social anxiety. Like, I'd love to imagine that, like, one day they didn't. It wasn't even makeup anymore. It was just their face. So they'd wake up and
They've
they're
worn
in
it
like a
so much.
they're like in like dressing gowns and bathrobes, pouring themselves cups of coffee in the morning, and it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they've got the entire stage get up on.
This also has the pleasure of being an album that has a song that I like to refer to as the bathroom song, because I would watch Headbangers Ball when I was a kid, and there were, sometimes, you would wait for the commercial to go to the bathroom, but other times a song would come on and you'd go, oh, I'm going to go use the bathroom. Yeah. And I knew it was time to go to the bathroom when you would see Paul Stanley show up and his hands are on fire and he's going, whoa! And that was the Heavens on Fire video. And I hated that song. I love it now, but it always reminds me of me going, oh, time to go to the bathroom or go to get a soda or something else. So, Kier, I'm going to talk to you as songwriter to songwriter, because we've both written songs before.
Okay.
Doesn't that sound like they just ran out of lyrics on the fucking chorus? Burn, bitch, burn. It's just, it's the most throwaway part of a song I've ever heard, because they actually wrote a melody for something to happen there. And yet it's just a woo woo, and I'm just every time I hear it, I go, "That is a complete waste of space on this album." But now that I'm looking at it, it's written by Gene Simmons solely. But still, I guess that's why they needed some help, because when they wrote songs on their own, they had shit that they filled empty space with some woos. And then you end this album with a song title that I think every band in the 80s wrote a song with a version of this song title: Murder in High Heels. I feel like every 80s band had some sort of evil in high heels or bitch in high heels, whatever it was. I feel like it's just go ahead and just, the 80s rock song generator, Murder in High Heels, is going to come out at some point.
Here's the thing as well. Here's a pretty egregious thing from the 80s hard rock song titling generator. Putting "In the Night" on the end of anything. Because I can think of, Thrills in the Night, Turn on the Night, Thief in the Night, just diverging here a minute. Crazy Nights. Crazy Nights.
Crazy Nights.
You look at the last two tracks on Crazy Nights, and it's a diversion, but Turn on the Night and then Thief in the Night. Yeah, one comes right after the other.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of like not trying very hard in a lot of this music. It's around the time that Paul Stanley was wearing a lot of flowy, colorful outfits and things like that. But yeah,
it's an era of men's fashion that I wish never ended. And